didn't get the question. Mr. President, is our colleague aware of the fact that the 15 contractors identified in these anomalous flood control projects are not even members of the Philippine Contractors Association?
Hi boss, another video, another issue. Na naman tayo mga boss, eto na ang mga dapat malaman ng bayan. Senator Erwin Tulfo. Pinahiya ni Marcoleta dahil wala itong alam sa background ng mga kontraktor. Tulfo, meron naman sagot dito. Bago natin umpisahan ang video, huwag mo kalimutan mag-like, share at subscribe, bossing. Push mo na rin notification bell, salamat, bossing.
Dito ang reorganisasyon po ng PICAB na ang kanilang mga miyembro na 5, chairman plus 4 po na miyembro, ay dapat po mga representante mula sa DPWH, Securities and Exchange Commission, at contracting industry at saka academe or civil society. At alisin na po yung mga kontratista na mga nakaupo po doon. Isa pa po, mas stricto na qualification para sa mga miyembro. Dapat po ang miyembro nito ay natural-born Filipino, residente po ng 8 taon dito sa ating bayan, at least 35 years old, na may maganda pong moral character. Disqualification cannot be an owner po, officer or stockholder of a construction company with government transactions. Dapat po wala kung siya po ay may negosyo. If a conflict of interest arises during his tenure, the member must divest interest within 30 days, Mr. President. Isa pa pong feature nito ay ang fixed term of office. Ang chairman at ang mga miyembro ay magsisilbi po ng 3 taon at wala na pong reappointment. Enhanced powers of PICAB. PICAB can now investigate violations motu proprio on its own or upon verified complaints. Ang nangyayari po kasi ngayon, Mr. President, hindi sila nag-iimbestiga dahil paano nila iimbestigahan ang kanilang mga sarili, Mr. President? Ang panghuli po, stronger accountability of contractors. Prescripted period of filing charges extended to 10 years. Yung mga substandard at saka mga ghost projects, dapat po kahit na 10 taon na yan at pwede pong kasuhan. Renewal after revocation of license may only be reissued upon proof demonstrable financial and operating capacity. Renewal after revocation of license may only be reissued upon proof demonstrable financial and operating capacity. Full satisfaction of losses, costs, and compliance with condition of revocation. Yan po ang mga salient features po ng naturang Senate bill. Mr. President.
Mr. President, I'm looking forward na itong PICAB sa susunod na hearing, either Blue Ribbon o sa public accountability, ay mapatawag lalo itong mga opisyales nila nang sa gayon magsagawa tayo ng malalim na investigasyon hinggil sa mga kalokohan ng mga taong ito. Maraming salamat, Mr. President.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. President. Thank you, Senator Rafi.
Thank you. Majority Leader.
May we recognize Senator Marcoleta, Mr. President.
Senator Dante Marcoleta is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Is our colleague, Mr. President, still amenable for a few clarificatory questions by way of interpellation?
Yes, Mr. President.
Mr. President, is our honorable colleague aware of the fact that the 15 contractors identified by the President of the Philippines in his initial report about the anomalous corruption in the flood control projects are not even members of the Philippine Contractors Association?
Mr. President, yung si Attorney Ernie Bagaw na mention po na may-ari ng EGB Construction ay isa po doon sa top 15 na ayon po sa listahan ng Pangulo ay nakakuha po ng 7.7 billion pesos. Siya po ay board member ng PICAB, Mr. President.
Mr. President, I think our good colleague didn't get the question. Mr. President, is our colleague aware of the fact that the 15 contractors identified in this anomalous flood control projects are not even members of the Philippine Contractors Association?
We will have to check on that, Mr. President. I don't have the list right now, but I can check it and probably give the copy to the gentleman from Pampanga.
Mr. President, there is no need for that because this representation knows the fact that these 15 identified contractors are not members of the Philippine Contractors Associations. Why am I asking this question, Mr. President? The Philippine Contractors Association is the primary organization of the most reputable contractors in this country. And I'd like to provide the information that this particular association is singly responsible in the creation of the CIAP. This is the Construction Industry Authority of the Philippines. Before that, Mr. President, the construction is not considered as an industry. It is only a sector. At that time, there was a debate, a national debate, that it is contributory to the gross domestic product of our country. It being a sector, it was not recognized as an industry. But because of the Philippine Contractors Association, it espoused a national consciousness that it is a major industry, one that is constructing the very foundation of our infrastructure. It is the one responsible to our skyline. Kaya ko po sinasabi ito, Mr. President, kailangan marinig din po sila. Hindi naman po kung halimbawa nakakita tayo ng ilang kamatis na bulok na nandun po sa isang tiklis, ay masisiraan na po yung buong figura ng construction industry in this country. Napakarami po ng reputable. Ito po, kaya ko po sinasabi, baka po sa pagbanat natin doon sa 15 lang, kung tutuusin ay nasasadlak pa sila sa isang investigasyon na ongoing ngayon sa Blue Ribbon Committee. Sana itingnan natin po yung mga matitibay na haligi ng construction industry na sila po yung nagtayo, sila ang nanguna kung bakit nagkaroon po ng CIAP, ng Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board sa ilalim po ng Department of Trade and Industry. Kaya ko po sinasabi ito, Mr. President, bago pa po ako naging congressman. Ako po ay nagtrabaho sa isang federasyon ng mga contractors. Ang Philippine Contractors po ay isang matibay na haligi at kasama po sa tinatawag na International Federation of Asian and Western Pacific Contractors Association. Ang ibig po sabihin niyan, tayo po'y bahagi ng isang regional, even a global conglomerate of contractors. Sana po ay matingnan din natin yung paraan kung paano na-develop, kung paano naging bahagi ng ating ekonomiya ang Philippine Construction Accreditation Board sa ilalim ng pamamahala ng Construction Industry Authority of the Philippines na ngayon nga po ay nando na po na bahagi ng ating Department of Trade and Industry. Yun lamang po ang aking gustong sabihin by way of manifestation. Salamat, Senator Erwin, sa pagpapahayag mo ng bahaging ito na maaari nating mapag-usapan in terms of legislation. Salamat po.
Maraming salamat, Mr. President. Pero I just want to clarify, Mr. President, that my privileged speech was not about the Contractors Association. It was rather centered on the bill that should amend the Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board, Mr. President, not specifically on the Contractors Association, but rather yung pong batas na ginawa pa noong Hunyo 19, 1965, lumang-luma na po at parang hindi na po siya applicable to this day, Mr. President. So yun po yung nais ko pala lamang pong sabihin sa aking pong privilege speech. Maraming salamat po, Mr. President.
All right, thank you. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, we'd like to thank the good gentleman for his privileged speech. And I'd like to reiterate that we include as well the interpellation of Senator Raffy Tulfo and Senator Marcoleta to the referral of the measure or the speech to the Blue Ribbon and the Civil Service Committees.
All right, hearing no objection, so referred.
Mr. President, on the item today, we have one of the items of the agenda today is we have the sponsorship of a treaty. But before we do that, we need to have a reference of business. So I move for the reference of business, Mr. President, so that we can
Yes,
take up
what
the
about the approval of the journal? Would you like to
Yes,
do that now?
We move to approve the journal, Mr. President, and I so move. Mr. President.
Any objection? Hearing none, the approval of the journal is approved.
This is for the 20th session, Mr. President, Monday,
Yes.
September 15. And I move for the previous motion, Mr. President, that we proceed with the reference of business.
The Secretary will proceed with the reference of business.
Bills on first reading. Senate Number 1251, an act establishing a comprehensive Philippine environmental assessment
Hi
system.
MGA Boss, huwag niyo kalimutan mag-like, share, subscribe para lagi kayong updated mga boss sa mga balita sa ating bansa. Kaya ano pa, back to the news, mga bossing.